I'm on the next leg of my spiritual journey. As in the post just below, I mentioned I'm on a tricycle now, adult tricycle. I was biking up to the Tawasin Ferries. I'm actually at Beacon Hill Park in Victoria. I'm going to tell you how I got here, where it began, so I was able to be at this point right here. It was in 2024. Shyla, my four-legged friend, angel in disguise that never broke character until the last day, and I used to tell her to break character on the last day, and she did. She communicated with me. Anyways, I was told go for a ride so she doesn't get bothered. You're going to go somewhere else now. Okay, and I'm thinking the direction I'm going through, the intuition, the Holy Spirit's telling me where to go. I'm thinking we're going back up to the Yukon right on, because the last time I was there, I was only there for 6 weeks. Nope. All of a sudden go this way, the intuition. I'm going towards Kamloops now and going down to Salmon Arm, Okanagan Valley, Kelowna, Penticton. I'm staying at, I think altogether was just 2 or 3 nights that it took me to get down to where I was at on May Run weekend 2 years ago exactly today, or yesterday I should say. So I get to this area, there's nobody there. I park close to the water. I think there's a creek or a river right there. I backed up into this one spot, but it was like kind of dirty, sandy and stuff. I didn't like it. It didn't look comfortable. I actually went for a walk in the area, and if I go down the little trail with the van, go up this little trail thing, I can go park my van in this spot. Nice grass. Shyla can lay down there all day, and she's not, in the sand and in the rocks and stuff. So anyways, I'm still in the other spot. A few people come out with their vehicles. Okay. Lions International van comes out. They're all young people. He's the only one. He's one person in that van. I guess he's the leader of this or whatever he's doing. He's young too. He's in his mid to late 20s or something. And then he comes up to me, tries to hex me out. He's whatever he's doing. He walks away. We're going to get a big group over here and we're going to make a circle, like he's hexing me out and stuff. Whatever. Anyways, he walks back to his van. I jump into my van. I was already going to the other spot. You didn't push me anywhere, buddy. But anyway, so I go up to the other spot. Now he's thinking, I got him out. But then he goes and looks. I'm over there. Anyways, he comes over with his other friend. So then I showed him that picture frame thing with the Freemasons and the emblem and the Star of David, the SS bolts and all that. He walks away. I gave him the piece of paper and everything. Go. He walks away. They have a ceremony that night, fired or circled. I think they're swearing in new initiate. I don't know how it works, all that, and I don't claim to know everything, but they're doing something. Holy Spirit had me do something myself. I had to walk out of the van into their circle. I'm not going to get too much more into that. I crashed their things. They didn't see me doing all this stuff. They weren't happy that I was there. And the Lions International, you guys know I was there that weekend. I went there, I think 2 more nights, 2 separate nights after that. But anyways, ended up going up to Ashnola, BC. Charlotte's not getting bothered. We're in between 2 trailer parks. There's only one trailer park that can access these trails. And it's not wide, this area I'm at. It's probably like 150 feet wide. And maybe 200-300 feet long, maybe 400 feet long, this one area. There's a few trails, and you can see almost everywhere except where it goes down in this one area. There's a highway, and then there's mountain range, and then there's the bush area where we're at. There's a river, Similkameen River, I think it's called, and then there's another mountain range right there. Sitting there for many days, meditating. Shyla's outside 16 hours a day. She's getting her massages every day, like 4, 5, 6, 7 massages. I just walk around and massage her legs, her whole body. She's not big. I love giving massages. Every day she got that, her whole life with me. I got a human brush, brushing her out several times a day. She just loves it, stretching out. Anyways, sitting there, looking at the mountain range now around me, that intuition, the Holy Spirit, thinking this is a good place to be at for when they have their World War III. I won't be affected or have the blasts from the nuclear bombs, and then I can get back to the city on foot because there won't be no more highways or nothing. I can get back, or bridges. I can get back to the city maybe 3-4 days on foot. So anyways, and Shyla would already be gone by this point. So then the Holy Spirit had me looking around. You're going to be in a cave. You're going to have your food. You're going to have your water, enough for 7 months. You're going to have your cube truck. And I'm thinking of all this stuff that's going into my head. I'm going to be doing this. So then I ended up buying a rubber backpack, waterproof backpack. Paid a pretty penny for that. Wind up radio, because somebody, after the bombs go down, somebody's going to throw up an antenna, shortwave or whatever. They're going to do some broadcasts. This is happening in Germany. This is happening in Africa. Bombs here, whatever. So I can have reports of what's going on. Plus that Tom Shoe smokeless wood stove and other things. I left that all in storage. I never even looked at it until last fall. But then I'm starting, and then the Holy Spirit says, you're going to be in the mountain. You're going to be hidden out from this with the water, the food, the gas, the diesel, and all that. I'm thinking, why would we be cowards? Hey, let's go stay in the thing. Why can't I be at ground zero trying to help out people? Because you won't survive ground zero. And then the Holy Spirit, through the wordless language, through intuition, reminded me how it had Noah hiding out. And it wasn't in an ark that was floating, and it wasn't just Noah. There was groups of people throughout the earth that were being saved, or throughout the area that was going to be flooded. And the only reason why it was flooded is because that God of division, the God of religion, the devil in disguise, had lost his creative power. That's power that it stole from the pleroma when it breathed it into man. Go look at it in Genesis. Wants that power back. Thought, I'm going to flood all of mankind. Didn't work. But anyways, so now I feel better like that. I'm going to go hide out for 7 months, let the nuclear ash fallout subside and stuff, and then I'll be able to go help out people on the coast. And the other people in the interior that do survive, they're going to come out. They're going to have a calling from inside of them, come out onto the west coast. You'll get help from one of the workers. But anyways, so now I got all this stuff. Fast forward till January. I think I got a notice of impoundment on my van from bylaw in the District of North Vancouver. The Holy Spirit told me, you stand your ground, don't go nowhere. I said, okay, stand my ground. But okay, you've got those posts, you can go see below. Buy enough water, food and everything. I forget how much I had, 2 weeks, a month. I forget. I had quite a bit, man, like 5, 6, 7 cases of water. And anyways, stand your ground. Bylaw tries to come over to one day again, trying to put tickets. She was putting a ticket, Stephanie, District of North Vancouver. She was putting a ticket on the RV behind me. I come outside. I was already outside with the big postcard. I've already had it. I'm not going to get too much into it. I was blocking out traffic and everything. RCMPs weren't coming. People were calling, and we wanted the RCMP to come out. But anyways, she leaves. Looking out I was in the van at this point. I looked. There's another bylaw there. The guy, I don't know his name. I come outside. I wasn't letting him close to my van. I said, you're not putting your garbage on my vehicle. You got no authority over us. We have authority over you, because we're here with the undivided power. So then I'm standing in front of my van, and he's trying to put the ticket on. I'm not letting him put his garbage on my vehicle. He pushes me out of the way and puts the ticket on my hood. There was already rain on the hood, so it's stuck on there. He steps back and he goes to make a phone call. And I see that, and through the intuition, I make my own phone call. I got body cams in the windows. I video everything. But anyways, I call. I said, this guy came over. I said he was trying to put garbage on my vehicle. I said I wasn't letting him. I was standing in between my vehicle and him. He pushed me out of the way, ended up putting the garbage on my vehicle. I said, just to let you know, it's a ticket and it's from bylaw. Why wouldn't you let him do it? I said, it's garbage. I don't want him on my vehicle. I said, it's not like I went to his house and caused him problems. He came to my house. But anyways, RCMP show up, 3 of them. 2 of them were with me, and I still have that big poster thing with the symbols and stuff, occult stuff. And then the one guy that's in charge, he goes and talks to the bylaw officer, I guess supervisor or something. They know exactly who I am. They know who they're dealing with. That bylaw had no idea. Anyways, the one RCMP that I'm with, I recognize that we already had conversations. I've talked to him quite a bit. He says, oh yeah, I recognize blah, blah, blah. He recognized me. Yeah, I know who you are. And then the little guy's there. I said, hey, I'm just going to go stand by the van. And I started walking away. The little guy says, you're being detained. Stay here. I said, I'm not being detained for nothing. You guys have no authority, or whatever I said to him. And then the other cop's like, no, just let him go. He's kind of laughing. No, just let him go. Let him go. Okay, so now I'm back. I'm at the passenger door. He's standing towards the hood, the little guy. And I guess he must have been bullied when he was a kid. This guy thinks he's got a Superman outfit, costume on, because that's all it is costumes that they're wearing, Satan's costumes. But anyways, he's standing there, and then I got the other RCMP standing to my right. So it started raining again. I said, I'm just going to put this inside inside the van. So I go to open up the door. There to RCMP that I know he has more authority than the little guy. I go to open up my door. The kid fucking slams my door almost right on me. It's like, what's going on, man? He says, you can't go in there, blah, blah, blah. And then he starts pushing me, being physical. And it reminds me, this is a shout out to Curtis from Delbrook Pool. Remember when you told me I was being physical? And I wasn't. It was that Mexican guy that was being physical with me in the steam room. He turned around and hit me on the 2 shoulders. Damn, I don't get physical, and I don't get, I'm not aggressive. You can see that I got videos of a whole bunch of people saying that they were aggressive. But you guys are trying to say that I was the aggressive one. But anyways, thanks for telling me not to be physical. The other RCMP's trying to pull me back. Don't worry. Come here. So he's pulling me back. He's being physical too, but I'm just limp. I'm just using my mind at this point. The Holy Spirit wanted me to go through this. The other RCMP comes after he talked to the bylaw. He says, we're not going to do nothing. This is finished today. I said, okay. I said, hey, can I put this in the van? He goes, yeah, sure, go ahead. I open up the door, I put it in the van, because I know he's the supervisor. The little kid's looking at little constable or whatever. I put it in, I shut my door. I said, see, there you go. He says, yeah, we don't know if you have weapons in there. I said, yeah, you don't, but I don't have weapons. I'm a bodhisattva. I said, but one thing I do know is that all 3 of yous have weapons. I said, you guys have guns right there on the side of yous. I said, you guys are the dangerous ones, not us, So they left. They never told me to leave or nothing. I'm still standing my ground like the Holy Spirit told me to. Now, through the wordless language again, the Holy Spirit's like, put your stuff in storage. You're going to go out on the street. I'm thinking, again, we're going to look like cowards. You just told me to stand my ground, and now you're telling me to leave. Like, why do that? Like, it's going to make us look bad. And then I was reminded on how the God of division, the God of religion, the devil in disguise. And I don't know the whole story because I don't really read too much of the Old Testament and stuff. I'm more into the truth, but I do know a certain few things that God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac on the altar of whatever, and they built this thing of wood, and they was going to sacrifice him and burn him, I guess, on there, burnt offering. And then at the last minute, when he had brought Isaac up or whatever it was, that God of division, the God of religion, the devil in disguise says, you don't have to do it no more. You were faithful enough, you were willing to do it for me. So they try to duplicate things that are done in the pleroma. So it's the same thing with the Holy Spirit. You were willing to stand your ground. Now you're going to go out on the streets and you're going to stand your ground there with anybody. You won't be afraid of nothing. Nothing's going to touch you. Nothing did. Some people came around. I'm not going to get into it. But anyways, so now I put all my stuff in storage, sell my van January 10th, and I've been living outside ever since. But I'll tell you one thing. When I went outside, it was like welcoming an old friend. Wasn't afraid of nothing. Slept outside, cold, wet, whatever, but welcoming an old friend. Because then I was reminded, because I've told everybody I'm a bodhisattva. For the last 1,700 years, the true Christians were hiding in plain sight in Buddhist temples, monasteries, and on the side of mountains. So for those 1,700 years, we were Buddhist monk turned master. And every time after I was a master, I'd do my teachings, I'd leave. They'd probably go into the temple, wherever I was sitting. They'd just see my robe right there. I'd be gone in the wilderness in normal clothing, tattered clothing and stuff. Lifetime after lifetime, strengthening our mind, meditating, trying to be full of truth, not being part of this divided world of light, darkness, good and evil and stuff. For these days, because these days, there's lots of witchcraft, sorcery, and they're trying to hypnotize people, but our minds have already been strengthened and stuff. So now, all this is happening, and now I'm here in Victoria. I had no idea I was going to go to the Freemasons the other day. I had no idea I was going to try to knock on their door, asking the Holy Spirit to open the door so we can start exorcising those and exterminating those lower world rulers, that darkness that's inside of people and stuff. But yeah, we're here for that World War III. And Satan runs all the armies. So why would Satan want to blow up this world? Right now, Satan's got 12,500 nuclear bombs. I believe they got more than that. And Satan thinks that's enough to keep the Holy Spirit at bay. I'm going to blow up this whole earth if you try to meddle with us at all. This earth is actually just a garden. You know the Garden of Eden? We're still in it. This is the garden. These are our clay pots, you know, a clay vessel, these carcasses. And we got that light that's actually like the seed. And that seed is growing and evolving from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. At the beginning, there wasn't 8 billion people. So I believe 7.99999 billion people are going to perish because they only ever had one life to live. That's why they got that slogan. You only got one life to live. Yeah, it's because, like I say, 99% of the people have no backbone, no back lives. But anyways, so now we're going to start exterminating their demons. And as soon as we start exterminating their demons, Satan's going to know all is lost. That's when they're going to deploy all the bombs. We want that to happen. We want this garden to be gone. We want all those false lives to be gone. And after, we're just going to concentrate on the people that do survive. And that's the one that the Holy Spirit has survived, has gotten them to survive. And we're going to teach them how to be full. And this realm's only going to keep going for a few more decades, and then it's going to close it up. Because even Yeshua says, I'm going to destroy this house and nobody will be able to rebuild it. And we're going to destroy it, and we're going to take all the light out. We're dreaming this world up. Row your boat. Life is but a dream. And if all that light's gone, there's nobody else here left to dream, and then the garden's going to get closed up. Because like it's written, we are in the 4th kingdom of King Nebuchadnezzar's dream, the Iron Kingdom, or the iron mixed with clay. The iron being Trump, all the leaders of the world, the tough, but brittle. And then the clay at the bottom is the people that are out on the street. Like I go talk to people on the street, they're with Satan, man, right all the way. So that's why the clay mixing with the iron. And you say, yeah, but that's just a story in the Bible, King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. But you go look in Hinduism, they say there's only 4 kingdoms for this world. And we're in the last kingdom, the Kali Yuga, the shortest and the worst of them all. And like in the King Nebuchadnezzar's dream, they say the first kingdom was the golden kingdom. Very easy, because we remembered where we came from. The second one was silver, bronze, and now iron. We don't even remember where we're from. We've been evolving for 13.8 billion years. They're trying to make us believe that there's hundreds of billions of galaxies out there. It's a farce. Even John Wheeler, Einstein's colleague, says there's nothing out there. We're imagining this stuff. But anyways, I can keep going on with this, but we're here. And I'm going to be bringing proof soon. And not just I, but my siblings throughout this earth. And I'm sure those Freemasons, they know we're telling the truth, because Philip's out there, James out there, Mary, and Mary are out there. I say Mary, and Mary because there's Mary, his mother, Mary, his sister, and Mary is of Magdala. But anyways, we're here. And till the next video, and hopefully I will have proof this time. I'm still here at the park. Those bylaws came over. They never told me to leave. I told them who we were. You can see on that video. And I was still waiting for the Victoria police to show up or something, but they never did. But anyways, until the next video,